What is meant by DLL, Dynamic Link Library? So to demonstrate this one, let's say consider we have this application. So here this is a simple application of a WPF. Here we have one text box marked as radius, another text box marked as a text area, and this is a calculate button. So what we are going to do on this calculate button click event, we are going to perform calculation. That is a kind of calculation of area of a circle. The radius into the first text box, and here is the area of a calculation. So to perform this calculation in a straightforward, we can do either in a single line by converting this text into the double and just apply the formula for pi r square, or we can declare all the variables. Let's say for example this double area equals to 0.0, and if we have double radius equals to 0.0. So now if we want to calculate this area, we need to apply the formula pi r square. So the radius which is coming from the text box, so first of all just to get it, radius equals to what we have, that is a text. So we have to convert that text of this text box into the double, convert to double, and this value which is inside this txt radius dot text. So that is a radius which we have taken into the rad, and then we are going to calculate a area. So here right is area equals to, and then from this math class we have a constant of a pi, that is 3.14 star pi, then r which is going to be a 2 times this pi, then this radius, and again we have to put it a radius, so this is becoming a pi r square, and this here area we will get it. So for getting area, this needs to be shown into the text box of a area. So txt area dot text equals to this area which is available into the double dot to string. We have to convert this one to this to string to show on the text box. This is simplest logic what we have written in to this click event. So now if you run it, this should show the whatever the input radius we are putting into the text box of txt radius, and that result should appear into the txt. This is simplest one what we are using a calculation for the calculation. Here in runtime, you just put it to radius equals to 1 and click on the calculate. So it is pi, that's a 3.14, and 1 square, it is a 1 only, so it is showing 1. So if you change it 2, then it should change the value accordingly, that's 12. And if I am putting it 5, it should change accordingly. And if I put it 10, then this is the simplest calculation which should appear here. Now let's say this application is going to extend to support area of rectangle, area of a triangle, area of a square, area of a cylinder. These all are geometrical shapes, and that area we need to calculate from this application. Then we need to extend these things further by adding the controls. And see, this mathematical calculation formulas are one time, they are not going to change it. So make it in dynamic way, we have to create a separate model, that's a library. So all this mathematical calculation should go into the library, and then we can make a reuse of those library concepts. So that's why now if we want to create a library project, how to create it step by step. Now we are going to see a creation of a library project. So here if you see, click new, create a new project, and we can choose this class library, either first one, or maybe we can use this class library. If we are specifically looking for the Windows, then this .NET framework class library template we can use. Click on the create next, and here we can say it's an area calculator lib. Here we are putting as a project name as area calculator lib, and we can store project this maybe inside the libraries, so specifically we can find it easily. So project and this libraries, and click create. You can check in the solution as well, we have this whatever the project name which we have given, area calculator lib, and directly it is added as a class 1. And change the name, let's say area, simply area, or we can say this is just the area class name. So this class gets changed to the area, and this class, whatever the method which we want to develop, and needs to be reused. So all this area, let's say for example the returning value is going to be a double, so we can add the method which is having the return type of a double, public double area. This is going to be a circle area method. For this circle area, there must be a radius. So this double radius as the input is required to be a parameter for here. So double R is a radius, and it is going to return a math dot pi and star. This is going to be radius and star. It is going to be radius. So this is going to return a value of as area value here math pi r square. Now this area, whenever we are going to use this library, first of all we need to build this one. So build calculate area lib. So now see carefully, once we build it, so this is going to be generate a library file, that's a DLL. So this you can see area calculator dot DLL. So that's a library project. So now go back to our WPF application and refer this DLL. As I mentioned this, as we mentioned this library project, this DLL we cannot execute directly. If you start running it from here, it will show project with an output type of a class library cannot be started directly. In order to debug this project, add an executable project to a solution which reference this library project set to executable project as a starter project. So they are asking to add this library as a reference to our executable project, and we have in a separate application or one of the WPF application. So inside that we are going to add this area calculator lib.dll. So now go to the this WPF application and refer this library, and we are going to consume this calculate area method into our WPF project. Coming back to our WPF application, so this is EY based application, and here whatever the calculations which is required we have done at this code behind only. Now we are going to use a function, a method from the library. So before that we have to use as a reference that project into that library into our project WPF project. So we can browse it here, and that is going to be ideally we can copy also that library into another folder as well. Library we can refer from this another project as well, or we can copy this library to a separate folder where we are maintaining some of the external libraries, external dependencies to it. So what I created this folder here in another folder, and we can paste it here inside this folder, this area calculator lib. Now this area calculator lib which we are going to refer into our project. So here in the references, add reference, and we can browse it here, browse, and we can here go to D drive projects, and inside this libs which we have added as area calculator lib, add as a reference, click OK, and here you can see in the references as well, this got added into our references as a area calculator lib. So now here what we have done here, we pass this radius, we convert it to double, and then calculation. Now just for the time being we are going to comment it out, this calculation area, control KC. Instead we are going to use that library. First of all, making use of this library, we have to use that library a namespace here. So here this area calculator lib, once this reference got added, we can create an object of this area class which is from a library. You can see here this area calculator lib dot area, then we can create a object of it, or just a get set property as a private property here, and let's say put it private keyword here which we are going to consume in this class only. So this area we have created it, and initialize this area object which we need to create it new, and this area. Once object got created, we can access the method from this area. So area local variable equals to the object of area class dot in this method circle area, which is only one method which we have added. We can just see here circle area and pass this radius value. But if the radius is appearing, we can pass it into here. And now just run this one. Now however, what we were getting from this previous calculation, same should appear here. So I'm putting this one value and just clicking on the calculator, this should appear the same as we use the same formula, and it's very simple one. If I'm putting it 2, accordingly its result should change. If I'm putting 5, then result should change, and if I'm putting this 10, then result should get changed as a 314.1592. Now for this simple one, we have added a lot of code here so that we can reduce it. Now this area, is this circle area is returning directly double. So this simply for printing on the text, for this text area we can just put it here, and this is converting into string. So this line itself is not required, we can remove it from here. For even for the declaration of this area also not required, we can remove it here. Now for this double radius 0.0, this also we can just directly copy this convert dot to double into a, and replace with this rad. So this declaration, this conversion also we can delete from here, and this commented code also we can remove it from here. So simply in a single line of code, we are going to be able to execute this one. So now run it again. So now put this value 1, so it should calculate accordingly. Put it here 10, and they should change the value. So this got changed here. So this way we can make use of a library into our project.